Good morning one and all. Now in this class we'll be studying about the next type. Okay, next type of plant layout, that is called as what? Process layout. Now previous part which we had studied, no, that is what? Product layout. Okay, now this is the second type of plant layout, that is called as what? Process layout. Now clearly first understand the meaning of the term process layout. Process means what? Okay, how the step by step process has been done. Like simple example, if you want to manufacture any kind of the product, what stages or what processes are involved in that? There are 3 stages, that is process 1, process 2 and process 3. What happens in process 1? Collection of all the raw materials. Then when we come to the next process, that is what? Work in progress, or how the product will be manufactured. And when we come to the third stage or third process, it is the finished product or the final product. So here why they have termed as a process layout means here proper arrangement has to be done, okay, about the processes which have been involved in case of manufacturing the particular product. Okay, for that only they have termed it as a process layout. Okay, now we will study what are the merits and demerits of the process layout. In that, first one is what? Specialization. Now it depends upon which kind of the job, okay, or which kind of the product they have been manufacturing. Like already you know that in the organization different departments are there. Now suppose what happens, we will consider or take example of one department so that you can understand properly. Now one department is there, we will take example of the quality control department. So in that department what happens, properly they have to test the quality of the particular product, means whether to understand that it is of a good quality or not. So after they test the proper quality of the product, that time what happens, okay, they in that department that functioning or that working will take place. Okay, so that is based on the specialization, means based on which kind of job is being handled or which kind of job is being arranged. So like that way in different departments, based on their whatever the functioning is there, means what specialized they are there in that area or in that department, no, based on that the functioning or working will take place. Then next one is what? Effective supervision. Okay, now there should be a proper supervision required, a proper supervision being done. Okay, now just think that the workers which have been required in order to manufacture the particular product. Now I will give you one simple example that, okay, now just think that there are 10 workers. Okay, there are how many? 10 workers. Okay, they are been given the task or they have been given the work of packaging. They have to do the packaging work. So what these 10 workers will do? These 10 workers, they will start doing this packaging work. So that time what happens, now what is the main duty of the supervisor? The supervisor will try to allocate the work to the workers, that what is the task been given to them? The task given to them is doing the packaging work. So after doing this packaging work, the responsibility of the supervisor will not get over. The supervisor has to do a proper supervision or proper observation has to be done, whether the workers are doing the work properly or not. So here there should be a effective supervision, means proper supervision has to be done, okay, in order to see that whether the workers are working properly or not. Then the next one is low overhead cost. Now here what happens, each supervisor is responsible for supervision of a limited number of operations. Now here what happens, now just think that if it is a large scale company, okay, or if it is a big organization, that time what happens, the work allocation or distribution of work has to be done among the many employees or many workers. Okay, now we will take example that there are something 250 employees or 250 workers in the organization. So depending on that what happens, the work will be divided. or how proper the distribution of work will be done among the different workers. Okay, so for under each means how many workers have been allocated, for that it is been handled by one supervisor. So here you can see that each supervisor is responsible for the supervision of a limited number of operation. Now it is not possible for one supervisor alone to handle many number of employees or many number of workers. So what happens, one supervisor, he can control or he can handle the 10 workers. Okay, because that if they handle less or limited number of workers, so what happens that time, they can keep a constant watch on each and every worker whether they are doing the work properly or not. Okay, or whether they are finding any difficulty in handling the work or not. That is low overhead cost. So these are the merits. Then apart from that, we'll study what are the demerits which are there. In that, the first one is frequency of inspection. Now what do you mean by inspection? Here there should be a proper inspection or proper checking has to be done about whatever the records are there, whatever the operations or activities conducted in the organization. Then difficulty of material handling. At times what happens, the material handling, they will find any case of the problem or difficulty in order to handle that machine properly or in order to handle that machine in a proper manner. Then greater floor area. See here, as already in the product layout we had studied the space utilization, or here also they had termed it as a greater floor area. Means here what is the area or what is the space required, floor area required to for that particular employees or workers to start manufacturing that particular product. Now just think that if the workers are finding it difficulty, okay, they are finding it they are not comfortable to work in that particular area, okay, they require the space utilization, means more area is being required in order to manufacture that particular product. See here, if the machines which are there, okay, if the big machines are there and they require more space in order to locate that machine, okay, if small machines are there they will take little space utilization, but if big machines and all are there, they require the greater space utilization. So here that becomes one demerit. If the floor area which is required, means whatever the space which has been required, that is not becoming sufficient in order to manufacture that particular product, means that is not that much sufficient for the workers. So that everything will come in the process layout. Only need to remember, process layout means the step by step procedure which is as the process 1, process 2, process 3. Okay, then how they will start manufacturing the product from the process 1 to process 3, means arrangement has to be done in that proper manner. And we had studied about the merits and demerits, means whatever the specialization based on that particular in which area, means which type of job is there, the workers will work in that process. Then effective supervision, there should be a proper supervision. Then low overhead cost. Here means each supervisor, he is responsible for the supervision which has been done for a limited number of operation. Then demerits we had studied the frequency of inspection, means proper checking or proper inspection has to be done over the whatever the activities or operations conducted in the organization. Then difficulty of material handling, okay, and greater floor area, means whatever is the floor area which has been required, okay, in order to cover that particular floor area, means here how much space utilization is required in order to handle that work or in order to keep that particular machine. This was all about the second stage or second type of plant layout, that is what the process layout.